Hello, everyone, and welcome to our Thursday space. We will talk today about marriage in the UAE. How do you get married in the UAE? For years and years, the UAE courts, the personal status courts in the UAE, received applicants for marriage in the courts, whether they were UAE nationals, Muslims, and non-Muslims, until lately when the courts was overwhelmed with the numbers of people applying for marriages in the courts, that the courts exclusively uh, provided and offered marriage contracts to UAE nationals and Muslims. And not any UAE national, but UAE nationals who were Muslims. Who were non-Muslims were supposed to go to the holy places that are available in the UAE to enter into their marriages, and mainly directed them to their own embassies in the UAE to have their marriages entered into.
So if you are a local and you want to get married, you would go to the UAE courts. If you're a Muslim, you would go to the UAE courts. What do you expect to be asked for? There are certain terms and conditions that are to be met, mainly that you will have, if not a UAE national, you will have to be a resident of the UAE. And the Aqd Nikah that is mainly available in the UAE courts is the normal one that every sect of Islam recognizes as Aqd Nikah, as a valid one. There is of course the age, which is required, which is above 18, and there is the wali for the wife, which is something that is required in the UAE courts for the marriage to be entered into validly. And the one exclusive term that is mainly applicable to UAE nationals in the courts is the fact that they will have to have their mahar limited, and the limited mahar is at 50,000. It covers the early dowry and the late dowry, provided that the late dowry will not exceed 30,000 dirhams. The latest news that was trending on social media was the 10,000 marriages that were conducted, entered into before the Abu Dhabi Judicial Department. And this was very exciting news. The courts in Abu Dhabi has opened its doors for who do we call non-Muslims and also Muslims, but who have citizenships and passports of countries that do not apply any religious law to their family matters. Now, the marriage in Abu Dhabi courts is done through what we call a standard document. It is called a civil marriage. And a civil marriage in Abu Dhabi court requires what is called a prenup. Now, I may not agree totally that a prenup is a marriage contract, but what I see on Abu Dhabi Judicial Department civil court system is a form that is called a prenup. What has been happening is that people want to enter into a marriage contract, a basic one that would just provide their names, their addresses, the relevant information usually, and they want to have at the same time a prenup. Now, what does it mean to have a marriage contract in Abu Dhabi court? It means that you would be subject to the law of Abu Dhabi, which is 14 as amended by 15 of 2021 and resolution number 8 of 2022. So bear in mind when you enter into that marriage in Abu Dhabi court that you will be subject to that law. The prenup is what everyone is now asking for when married before Abu Dhabi courts and other courts worldwide. And the prenups are done in a quite particular way to protect the rights of both parties as far as their generated income during the marriage, and to avoid what may be called alimony as far as the law is concerned, and division of assets in other jurisdictions. Thank you very much for having us on this Thursday. I'm looking forward to seeing you next Thursday